Across the River is a Civil War novel. It takes place in the summer of 1863 in Furness. Its basis came about when, in reading about Western Pennsylvania mill towns, there was a strange incident at this time of a group of Morgan's raiders who were Confederate raiders down in Kentucky, based in Kentucky, Tennessee. A contingent of them came through Western Pennsylvania. Nobody knows why. Nobody knows what happened to them, how they got here in the first place. They were sighted in the town of New Brighton, Bridgewater, and then they sort of disappeared. That was very curious to me. I thought, wow, that's strange. So I started reading about Morgan's raiders. At the same time, one of the mysteries of Lee's invasion of the North had to do with what happened to the cavalry. Jeb Stuart, his very colorful and brilliant general of cavalry, disappeared for a couple of weeks. And if he had been with Lee's forces, particularly when they started to engage at Gettysburg, the outcome of that battle might have been very different. Stuart didn't get there until it was 3/4 of the way over. And people, there are notations of his raids and his sightings here, but he's running around the countryside with, battalions of mounted cavalry. What were they doing? And I started thinking about that in relation to Furness. I thought that was very interesting, that at this time of the Battle of Gettysburg, there were steam engines going around. This is also the time that the Gatling gun was developed in Cincinnati and had just been approved by the War Office, the Federal War Office, to be mounted on some ships, in boats rather, on the Mississippi. So what the idea of the book is, a contingent of Morgan's raiders come to Furness, and their idea is to take 2 or 3 of these steam engines, put iron plate on them, and mount Gatling guns, and meet up with Jeb Stuart's cavalry, who would escort them into Lee's army. In effect, an early tank. It's interesting to me that Gatling, when he developed the Gatling gun, the early machine gun, thought it would put an end to war forever. Because who could continue to have war when you'd have a machine like this that could kill people just indiscriminately? So people thought in those terms.